May I come in, sir?
Yes, come.
Thank you. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Please take a seat. Kunal.
Thank you, sir.
Kunal is from Haryana.
Yes, sir.
DTU. Passed out this year only?
Yes, sir.
You are fresh from the college?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me ask you some very general things.
Yes, sir.
Let me begin with your home state,
Yes,
Haryana. In not more than a minute, quickly do for us a SWOT analysis of your home state, Haryana. Not more than 3 bullet points in each of the 4 categories.
Okay, sir. So firstly, coming to the strengths of Haryana. Haryana is doing wonderful in terms of sports.
Sports.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Secondly, in terms of agriculture also, it is doing well.
Doing well.
And thirdly, in terms of transportation also, it is growing steadily.
Transportation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Within the state.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Next.
Weaknesses is first one is literacy rate.
First one is?
Literacy inside the state. Second one is sex ratio of the state.
Yes.
And third one will be healthcare facilities inside the state.
Skip the opportunities. What are the threats? Okay, let me come to a specific thing. One of the things which concerns the people of Haryana is high rate of unemployment today.
Yes, sir.
It's one of the highest in India.
Yes, sir.
And the other thing is that the Haryana government wants reservation in private sector for the Haryana youngsters, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you think about that? Would it be good to have reservation in the private sector or not, and why?
Sir, I believe that reservation in itself won't be much beneficial. Rather than we should have a minimum criteria for selection of students.
Why it will not be beneficial? Haryana people will get jobs. It will be beneficial, definitely.
Reservation in itself won't be that much beneficial, because if we are trying to provide employment to certain people who are not that much capable for that job, it won't be much beneficial. But if we provide reservation and also maintain certain minimum criteria.
Minimum criteria will always be there, is always there for a jobs, any type of job. That doesn't make a difference.
Yes, sir. So
there's no exam or job in the world without a minimum qualification.
So means like if we focus on competitive exams, then we will take about.
But reservation will be is always beneficial for certain people. But what are the arguments against it?
Sir, against it would be that if we are reserving certain seats for the people, then more deserving candidates.
Merit is compromise.
Yes,
so
sir.
What is your point of view? Should they have it or not?
So certain minimum reservation should be there.
Reservation should be there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. That means you don't believe in merit.
No, sir, I do, but certain reservation is required.
So what is certain? Reservation is a reservation.
Yes, sir.
Merit has to be sacrificed in reservation. That's why private sector doesn't do it. Anyway, doesn't matter. You were a badminton player.
Yes, sir.
What has India achieved in badminton in last couple of years?
So recently the biggest achievement was Indian team won the Thomas Cup.
Thomas Cup. Next.
Nextly, PV Sindhu won silver medal in 2016 Olympics. And recently in 2020 she won bronze.
Good. What is the difference between direct taxes and indirect taxes? Give some examples.
Sorry, sir.
Direct taxes and indirect taxes in India.
Taxes? Not aware. Not aware.
Not aware of income tax and GST?
No, sir.
You may not be paying income tax, but do you pay GST or not?
Yes, sir. We pay GST.
Where?
Sir, for any type of services that we are availing.
Any type of?
Services that we are availing either from restaurants or...
No, you are not you may not be availing services.
Sorry, sir. I am not much aware about the concepts of taxes.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. What do you mean by project management?
So project management refers to the technique of arranging or scheduling our activities and resources in a manner to achieve the desired outcome of the project with utilization of minimum or adequate resources and completion of the project in the minimum time.
Okay. What are different project management tools that you know?
So first one will be bar chart. Next we come to milestone chart.
Very good.
Thirdly, we move on to network diagrams. Then in network diagrams, we have AON and AOA. Then we make utilization of CPM and PERT concepts for project management. These are the tools that I am aware of.
Difference between CPM and PERT?
So the basic difference is that PERT is event oriented, whereas CPM is activity oriented. Secondly, PERT follows beta distribution, whereas CPM follows normal distribution of frequency. Thirdly, in PERT we have three time estimates for each activity, whereas in CPM we have a single time estimate. The probability of completion of an activity in the time estimate in PERT is 50%, whereas for CPM it is more certain and it is 100%.
Time is more important in CPM or in PERT?
In PERT, sir.
Okay, good. What do you mean by resource leveling?
Leveling. So resource leveling is a technique for resource utilization wherein we consider the resources to be limited that are in our hands, as a result of which we try to give every activity the resources in a way that none of the allocation of resources exceeds the limited value of that resource. In this way, we make utilization of the available float and slack for each activity. And in this way, there might be certain cases wherein the project expected time may increase.
Okay, very good. And what about resource smoothing?
So in resource smoothing, we do not have any limitation on the maximum amount of resources available. The resources are considered to be unlimited, whereas we try to have a uniform resource allocation within each of the activities. In such a way, the project duration may not increase in case of resource smoothing.
Okay. What are different types of floats?
Floats. So different floats are free float, total float, interfering float, and independent float.
What is independent flow?
Sir, independent float is the float available to an activity wherein each activity has the capacity to start as late as possible and finish as early as possible.
Okay. Can you name some excavation equipments?
First one is backhoe, second power shovel, third dozer, fourth will be drag line, fifth clamshell. These are all I can recall.
How economics of any equipment is decided?
So whenever we talk about economics of an instrument, we focus on two criteria basically: the work that can be achieved from that instrument and the operation and maintenance cost that are required for the equipment. If the work that can be achieved by utilization of that equipment during its design life is more than the operation and maintenance cost, then it can be sustained with the department, else we need to scrap it off.
Okay. How we determine the economics? Do you know about the sinking fund method?
Yes, sir.
What it is?
So to determine the economy, we focus on determining the depreciation that arises inside an equipment. Sinking fund method is one of the multiple methods that are available to us for determining depreciation of the instrument, the equipment that we have at our hand.
How we determine it?
So we calculate the sinking fund ratio. We calculate, and we need to allocate, just like in other economics, we need to allocate certain part of our income so that it can be accumulated over multiple years, so that it can be equal to the initial value of the equipment.
Good. Okay. Kunal,
Yes, sir.
what is the difference between truss and frame?
So the basic difference is that both are structural members, but truss have pin joints, and frame may have pin joint hinge or a rigid joint.
What is the other difference?
Other difference will be the members inside the truss will be subjected to axial forces, whereas frames members can be subjected to axial shear or bending moments.
Right. So what is the significance of kinematic indeterminacy in structure?
By kinematic indeterminacy, we refers to the independent degree of freedoms available at a joint inside a structure. It helps us to determine how can a joint deform whenever a load is applied to the member or the joint itself.
So if suppose I have two structure, correct? One having more kinematic indeterminacy as compared to structure number 2. So what is the significant part in structure number 1?
Significant.
Is it some related with some load carrying capacity? Can you relate this with a load carrying capacity? If any structure have suppose kinematic indeterminacy more, if its value is more, so how it is going to affect in terms of load carrying capacity?
Sir, if I look at it from the viewpoint of statically indeterminate or determinate structure, we can say that determinate structures will have higher kinematic indeterminacy than the statically indeterminate structures. So, in case of higher Ki than higher static indeterminacy, I would say load carrying capacity would be reduced if kinematic indeterminacy would be more than the static indeterminacy.
Okay, just take this paper. Draw a portal frame. Okay. Now tell me what will be the kinematic indeterminacy of this frame if you neglect the axial deformation of the member.
Three, sir.
3, right? Now tell me what is factor of safety?
So, factor of safety we use in our design philosophies to account for uncertainty in the strength of the member or uncertainty in calculating the load that might occur over the material or the member. So, factor of safety provides us an extra safety parameter that even if the load that we are calculating it for would be higher than what it will be actually affected during its lifetime.
So on which factor we decide the factor of safety? Like if I want to design any structure, so in design phases we have to take some factor of safety. So what are the different parameters that I should consider?
So firstly, the factor of safety need to be applied to both the member strength and the design load that would be coming. Secondly, for calculation of strength parameters, we need to take into account the quality control that we are having at the site and the defects, if any, are available inside the material during its production need to be taken in care of. Thirdly, there are a lot of uncertainties that might have arisen during calculation of the strength, maximum strength that a material can sustain. Coming to the design factor of safety, load factor of safety, due to multiple combination of loads, the effect on the structure will be different. So we need to consider different load combinations and different factor of safety for each type of load.
Okay, fine. So this is the case I have. Take this paper. This is the cantilever, right?
Yes, sir.
At the right side, we have drawn the cross section, right?
Okay, sir.
The right diagram on the right side is a cross section.
Yes, sir.
I have applied inclined load P. Now, can you tell me what should be the position of neutral axis in this case?
So it would be
Yes, fine. It's correct.
Okay. So, Kunal, you're a very fresher. Can you simply take this? This is a compaction curve of soil.
Yes, sir.
So, write the y-axis and x-axis. Symbol would be enough, no issues. So, at x-axis it is optimum moisture content or water content?
So at x-axis it would be water content, but the water content at which maximum gamma D will be, it will be also.
Good. Now tell me, at gamma D max, theoretically, what is the degree of saturation? Theoretically, I'm asking.
100%, sir.
100%. Then why it is gamma D? Why it is not gamma saturated? It is S equal to 1. At S equal to 1, density, saturated density. But why we define it in maximum dry density?
Not able to think, sir.
Okay, no issues. Turn the page. Can you simply mark in that compass survey diagram? Can you simply mark what is the included angle, deflection angle? No need to calculate the value. Only mark the deflection angle and included angle. This is?
Included angle, sir.
Okay.
The rest would be deflection angle.
Which one?
This one.
Take. Just assume that if this traverse is clockwise, this is right now it is anti-clockwise. Simply, if I make it clockwise, then included angle will be same or it will be?
No, sir. It will change from the outer side.
Okay, it will be exterior angle. What is this? The first diagram.
So macro structure of a tree.
Good. Can you mark the tangential showing? If you need to show this timber piece with tangential showing.
Sir, we will make cuts along the tangents to this.
Okay. Okay. Take. Tell me what is 0.67 FCK? You have heard this word 0.67 FCK in RCC limited state method assumption.
Yes,
only.
sir.
Why this 0.67 FCK? What is the significance of that 0.67?
So 0.67 occurs due to a factor of safety that we consider because of the size and shape of the member that we are constructing inside the field. Because when we are testing the material in the lab, we make use of cube test generally, but whenever the size of the member we are considering, it is more, if we consider a beam, it is rectangular in shape and the size is also more means higher than that of the cube. So in order to take into account that increase in size and shape, we need to have a factor of safety. But
that factor of safety will be applied after 0.67 FCK.
So
in 0.67 FCK, you divide it by 1.5, then it will become 0.45.
So, sir, when we are having that shape or size inside the lab, then we are having 0.67 FCK. But when we are constructing the same material, same member inside the field, then we apply another factor of safety.
Okay. Let us say there is a particular concrete mix. You have prepared a cube, you have prepared a cylinder. Which specimen will give you the more answer, higher value?
So, cube will give me higher.
Then same concrete, why cylinder is giving lesser answer? Concrete the same.
Sir, it is because of the friction that is arising at the ends of the
What
cube.
is that effect known as?
So, Platon restraint.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kunal. Your interview is over. We'll call you back for the feedback.
Thank you, sir.
Kunal, you have appeared earlier also?
Yes, sir.
Here?
Yes, sir.
Of course, not in UPSC. It's your first chance.
Yes, sir.
Here, how much did you get last time?
135, sir.
135. What a coincidence. Today also is 135. You are doing very well. Every reason that you score 135 or more over there. Because my technical friends say that's absolutely fantastic performance, very right. But I am not happy on two things from your point of view. One is, at some of the questions you are giving a very long pause thinking. I am not saying the thinking was not required in that. If it was required, you are expected to borrow time, request us that may I think for a few seconds. Because otherwise what is likely to happen is they move at a fast pace. On an average, every member asks about five questions. So while you are thinking, I may ask another question. Then you cannot argue with me, sir, I will answer that only first. No, you will not be allowed to answer. So it's going to be your loss. Because you knew the answer, but because of overthinking, you lost it.
Okay,
so it will be your loss. The other thing is that, of course, it's not the question right or wrong of the answer, but my suggestion to you is that you are such a fine candidate, you must have done well in writtens. Don't take a risk in the interview. You have taken a big chance by supporting reservation on private sector in Haryana. You can lose marks substantially on that. You are a meritorious student. That apart, such reservation is right now not happening. It's not taken. Third thing, if it happens, what will happen? What will be the effect? Effect will be top industries from Gurgaon will go to some other state. And what is the strength of state today will become a weakness. But income will go down, taxes will go down. Okay, they will prefer to go. All the states in India are not going to do it.
Yes, sir.
So the industries will go down. That's what happened to industries when they moved from Calcutta to Bombay after independence.
Okay,
so
sir.
don't give us, it's an extremely risky answer. Think about it. So,
okay. Technically you are good. Technically you are good. And वही long जो pause लेते हो ना उसको थोड़ा सा कम कर दो. Answers are perfect.
सारे क्वेश्चंस में लेने की जरूरत नहीं है.
हाँ,
कहीं
आप हर
ले
question
सकते हो,
हाँ.
बट हर क्वेश्चंस में आप एक pause
हर
तो
में you
ले
cannot borrow the time also ना. Every time you cannot ask the member कि you need certain time.
Okay, sir.
है ना. हर क्वेश्चन में लेने की जरूरत नहीं. मतलब इतना परफेक्टली आंसर को देने की जरूरत नहीं. थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर भी चलेगा विदाउट टेकिंग द पॉज. तुमने आंसर बहुत अच्छे दिए.
वही अच्छी बात है. आपने पॉज लेके आंसर एकदम परफेक्ट दिया. इसलिए कि ज्यादा कंप्लेनिंग नहीं आ रही उस चीज की. बाकी उतना पॉज ठीक नहीं है ना.
मतलब हर क्वेश्चन में आप नहीं ले सकते.
Because interview is a test of quick reactions also. Because if you do it again and again, they will move fast and you will lose marks for that question.
Okay,
right?
sir.
Otherwise, you are an excellent candidate. No need to say that.
Okay.
Wish you all the best.
Okay. Sir, I wanted to ask something that I'm currently doing MTech in structure from IIT Delhi.
Tell them.
Definitely you should tell.
Yeah. You must tell. You must go there with your cards
not
open.
mentioning the DAF. Na?
Definitely.
Yes, sir. I have not.
So,
I did
whenever
not get
you
any
get an
opportunity to tell
So
that.
take that opportunity. Whenever you get an opportunity, tell them.
Okay, sir.
They are likely to ask you what are you doing or introduce yourself or what are your plans. They are likely to ask you something. Then you tell them.
मेंशन क्यों नहीं किया इसमें?
सर इसमें फिर डिग्री भी दिखानी पड़ती ना इसी साल एडमिशन.
नहीं ऐसा कुछ
ऐसा
नहीं,
कुछ
ऐसा नहीं होता है. You can mention it, leave it rest blank.
सर मैंने मेडीजी में बात की थी तो सर ने कहा कि अभी मत दिखाना.
तो यहाँ
लेकिन वहां बता देना.
बता देना.
बता देना इंट्रोडक्शन.
Okay.
क्योंकि ऑलवेज पॉजिटिव वाइब्स है उससे हमेशा. IIT दिल्ली वो भी स्ट्रक्चर इंजीनियरिंग. इट्स वेरी गुड.
Whatever you are doing, you must be open about it.
Because every teacher here, sir, you all are from different fields. I wanted to ask that I am getting an opportunity to work for ISEL as well, and I'm currently doing IIT Delhi MTech structure. But I want to prepare for engineering services. So what should I do?
Whatever you feel, the answers should come from your heart. It should be honest.
और अभी अगर आपका सिलेक्शन हो गया क्या इसमें कोई इशू नहीं फिर?
So वो सिलेक्शन होने के बाद तो कोई इशू नहीं. अगर नहीं होता तो इशू.
मैटर ऑफ 10-15
It's
days.
a matter of choice.
अभी 10-15 दिन के बाद है.
Next month result आ जाएगा. Then you decide. Okay.
You have the sufficient time.
Thank you, sir.